our material world is very much organized around the number 7, which is also why every 7-year cycle, we have this big material shift, like in our physical material circumstances. It is very connected to Lady Wisdom. And the energy of Lady Wisdom, or another name for her, is Holy Sophia or Divine Sophia, and how she manifests in our world. So, who is Sophia? The book of Proverbs is a book in the 3rd section of the Hebrew Bible. It's ascribed to King Solomon. So King Solomon is thought to have written this book, and his students. Wisdom is praised in Proverbs for her role in creation. So the biblical version of wisdom is that she is the first creation of God or of Source. She is the first emanation from Source. And she is the energy or the impulse that organized chaos, that gave order, that gave structure to the universe and to the whole of creation. Since humans have life and prosperity by conforming to the order of creation, seeking wisdom is the essence and goal of life. So the idea is that wisdom is a consciousness. Another word for her is consciousness, is divine consciousness. And the more we align with divine consciousness, the more we are attuned to the innate wisdom of life. And the more we can bring through flow, prosperity, abundance, because we are simply aligned to the flow of creation. As wisdom has built her house, she has set up its 7 pillars. So why the number 7? We will go into that. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her servants, and she calls from the highest point of the city. Let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense, she says, come, eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways and you will live. Walk in the way of insight. So she calls out from the highest point of the city. And we'll see this in the next slide as well. But what it means is the underlying thought is that wisdom is available to all, that it's not something that is preserved to only initiates or only to elites, but she is an energy, she is a consciousness, she is a divine presence that is available to all, and she actively seeks out people. She goes and she stands on the towers of the city, she stands at the gates, at the places where most people come through, to be available to all. And the idea is that she connects people, she connects humanity to a higher consciousness or to a divine consciousness. So let all who are simple or all who have no sense, what it means is the unconscious, people who act outside of divine consciousness. And to the left here are 3 images of Sophia or of divine wisdom in different traditions. So this one is a Sophia seated on her throne with wings. So this is an Orthodox image. To the left, we have Mary seated on her throne with Jesus on her lap. So the idea is that Mary is wisdom as a sovereign being, and she holds the child Jesus on her lap, and the symbolism of that is that Jesus represents Christ consciousness and represents divine wisdom. So she is the temple that gives birth to divine wisdom as well. And then this image and this idea is also present in ancient Egypt. So this is a statue of Isis, Isis seated on her throne. The throne is part of the hieroglyph of Isis's name. And in this tradition as well, Isis is the all-encompassing goddess. She rules over everything, over the whole of creation, and she is really the mother goddess. So in Egyptian thought and tradition, we also get the message that Isis is one of the first creations of the divine, and that she rules over every aspect, so that she has divine wisdom within. Interestingly, she is a goddess that has her power because she knows the name of God, the name of Ra. And she is the only one of all the gods who knows his name. And because she knows his name, she is all powerful and all encompassing. So Sophia, divine wisdom, is also, it's an aspect of the divine. It's an aspect of God. We can see it as the divine feminine aspect of God. Does not wisdom call, and does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights, beside the way, at the crossroads, she takes her stand. Beside the gates in front of the town, at the entrance of the portals, she cries out, "To you, O people, I call, and my cry is to all that live." So clearly she tries to speak to everyone. I walk in a way of righteousness along the paths of justice, endowing with wealth those who love me and filling their treasuries. So in these verses, she establishes herself as the path towards the divine, but also the will of the divine, the will of God. And also an energy that is present within all of us. So she's external and internal at the same time. Proverbs 8:22-31 says, "The Lord," this is wisdom speaking, "the Lord created me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts, long ago. Ages ago I was set up, at the first, before the beginning of the earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth, when there were no springs abounding with water. Before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills, I was brought forth. When he had not yet made earth and fields of the world's first bits of soil. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he made the firm skies above, when he established the fountains of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters might not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth. Then I was beside him, like a master worker, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and delighting in the human race." So what she says is that she was present for the whole of creation. And in a way, it's as if she is the action, the force of action, the impulse from the divine to create all things, to manifest all creation. So also the link between ourselves and the divine. And we understand that by eliminating the feminine out of our religious structures, we have largely eliminated our capacity to connect to the divine. So it's important to rebuild that bridge and to really be conscious of wisdom and work with her, because, like she says, endowing with wealth those who love me and filling their treasuries, she is the path to abundance and to a harmonious, abundant life on this earth as well. Sophia does not reside in us, or cannot reside in us. She cannot come through when we are trapped in the illusion of suffering. So this is one of the main things. when we are connected to Sophia again, when Sophia is freed within us, we are no longer in a consciousness of suffering or in an illusion of suffering. When we don't surrender to divine flow and will, every time we try to go against the flow, every time we try to go against our inner voice, against what life asks of us, when we want to hold on to an illusion of control, if we try to overly control, overly organize, overly schedule our lives, it becomes rigid. And wherever there is rigidity, it becomes a lot harder for her to show herself and show her voice. Sophia is absent when we believe that we are separated from God, from the divine, or from each other. So the consciousness of separation also really blocks her essence coming through. Sophia is essentially trapped within a contracted, limited, and rigid human consciousness. She is set free by expanding consciousness. So that is the path, and that is what the sevenfold path represents. It's a path to free ourselves, a path to prepare the vessel and to open our vessel to fully receive Sophia, to fully receive divine consciousness, and to liberate her from within as well.